This week's cold case is on Anthony Tumolo. Anthony Tumolo disappeared from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on October 15, 1966. But as always, let's rewind to 1966 and see what was going on in the U.S. during that time. Lyndon B. Johnson was our 36th president. The number one song in October of 1966 was Reach Out, I'll Be There by the Four Tops. And while Batman, the TV series, made its debut in 1966, the popular TV show The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, which was on TV for 14 years, aired its last episode in 1966. And October 15th of 1966, Anthony Tumolo disappeared. He was 14 years old, 5'2", weighed 110 pounds. He had black hair and brown eyes. On October 15th, 1966, Anthony and his best friend Jack were up before sunrise out delivering newspapers. After their morning route, they met up at the local bakery to share donuts and hang out. Around 3 p.m., the boys parted ways to go home for dinner, but not before making plans to hang out afterwards, as they did on most Saturdays. Anthony arrived at his Princeton Avenue home and ate his dinner, and a few hours later told his parents he was going to go ride his bike over to Jack's. At the same time, Jack had finished his dinner and told his parents he was leaving to go to Anthony's. When Jack made it to Anthony's, he knocked on the door, and Anthony's mom told him that he had just missed Anthony. Jack got back on his bike and raced home to try to meet up with Anthony, thinking maybe he would cross paths with him on the way there. However, he never saw Anthony. Anthony wasn't at Jack's house either, so Jack rode around town and looked at their usual hangout spots, but he never did see him. He thought perhaps maybe Anthony changed his mind and hung out with other friends instead. And when Anthony didn't come home that night, his parents assumed that he stayed the night at Jack's house, as that would not be out of the norm for them. The next morning, Anthony's mom got several phone calls asking why Anthony didn't deliver their paper. Anthony never missed his paper route, so his parents got very worried that something might be wrong. And after learning from Jack that he hadn't stayed the night there, his parents called the police. The police right away labeled Anthony a runaway. But Anthony's family and his friend Jack didn't believe that. Anthony still had an uncashed paycheck in his room, and all of his personal belongings were still there. 5 days after Anthony's disappearance, police closed his case. They said that 2 classmates had told them that they saw Anthony and chased after him, and so the police assumed that he didn't want to be found. Jack never gave up looking for his best friend, and as an adult became a police officer. He located one of the classmates that claimed to have seen Jack, and that classmate admitted that he had lied about seeing Anthony. He used seeing Anthony and chasing him as an excuse to not get in trouble for being late to school. Jack has always thought that maybe Anthony was struck by a vehicle while riding his bicycle, and the driver panicked and hit his body in the bike, which has never been found either. Interstate 95 was under construction in the area around the time that Anthony disappeared, and it would have been relatively easy to hide him at the construction site. This theory has not been verified, but law enforcement currently in charge of investigating Anthony's case believe it is likely a possibility. Anthony's parents always thought he was abducted, and they both passed away not knowing what happened to him. Anthony's case remains unsolved. Anthony would be 72 years old on February 28th of this year. This age progression photo shows what he may have looked like at 65 years old. If anyone has any information about Anthony, please call the Philadelphia Police Department at 215-685-3257.
If you like this video, give it a like. Also, follow and or subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Make sure to check out our shorts and reels as we post daily. And if you have a cold case that you want covered, be sure to let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.